So today we're working on a 95 Goldwing Aspen K. The speedo doesn't work, the odometer doesn't work, the cruise doesn't work. So I took the speedometer cable off at the wheel here and attempted to spin it, and the cable is broken inside, or something's wrong with the cable. It's like it's threading out, but it won't thread back in. So I've ordered a speedo cable because I think that's the problem. I checked the gear seems to be outputting here. In the process of getting access to the speedo cable, got to pull the instrument cluster out, both mirrors off, chrome trim off, parking lights out, windshield off, and I see there's a scratch on the windshield that I didn't do, so I just wanted to make note of that before we get any further. These pockets have to come off. This trim is underneath this top cover, so this has to come off. Yeah, it's a considerable amount of stuff. Well, I finally got to the back of the instrument cluster. So here's what you have to do. Step 1, remove both mirrors. There are 3 fasteners that hold the mirror on. You need a long Phillips screwdriver. They're kind of a pain in the ass, especially this top bolt. Take the mirrors off, take the plastic trim off, both sides. Take the chrome piece off the front. There are 2 screws in the corner, one here and one here. Tilt it forward, slide it to the left, and it unlatches from these clips. Then remove the windshield. There are 5 fasteners across the bottom for the windshield. You can peel this rubber back a little bit, but you don't have to remove it. Let's see. I took the side marker signal lights out, but I don't think you need to. Remove the pockets here, 1 on each side. There are 4 screws. Remove the grab handles, 2 7mm Allen bolts with plastic covers on the trim, and then lift the back seat, or lift the seat out. 2 acorn nuts here. Pull this back. Remove the trim off the top of the gas tank here. You don't need to disconnect this, just move it back because all that trim is clipped underneath. There's a screw on the headlight adjuster here. Remove that screw, pull the knob off, remove the retaining nut and washer. You can push it back in a little bit, it doesn't matter. The challenge here is now these vents got to come out. So to pop the vent out, pop it out by prying on it gently on the inboard side and work it out. Then you have to take the vent frame out. I'll show you what the vent frame looks like. These 2 retainers on the vents, one on each side. The vent frame looks like a little housing. There are clips on the top and bottom of it. You have to depress those clips and simultaneously pull it out. That must be pulled out in order to pull the trim off. Once the trim is off, then we got access to the 4 screws that hold the instrument cluster in place. And what's happened on this vehicle is the speedo cable has seized and broken the speedo cable. I had jacked it up and spun the front wheel, and the gears seemed to be turning, and I tried to hold resistance on it, and it seems like it's going to work. But I'm going to actually check the speedo head now to see if there's a problem with the speedo head. I'm going to put the piece of speedo cable in there, maybe through here if I can somehow, and spin it with a drill and make sure that it turns free, because if the speedo head is seized, that's probably why the cable's seized. I think it just got moisture in the cable. I haven't removed the cable yet. I've got one coming. But that's where we're at. You got to take half the damn bike apart to access the back of the speedo head. They could have made an access right through here or with the headlight out, but no such luck. Even if you take the headlight out, you can't get in there. There's a pocket, a basket in there. Might be a wise idea to service the air filter while we have this stuff off, because that air filter I believe is underneath here and the fuel filter is under there. And maybe change some light bulbs to be proactive. Got the piece of speedo cable in there, just stuck in there, and if I spin this, you can see the speedo responds, and it turns nice and free, so I think we're okay. Let's try putting it down here. I'll put a drill on it and spin it. So I put a drill on it. You got to spin it counterclockwise. So I get about 34 miles an hour out of this thing. The odometer is counting. You can see so change the speedo. My only worry is this drive gear inside the hub here might be damaged because of that cable. We're hoping the cable snapped. I guess we'll see when we put it together.